you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be updating you guys on 7 and 8 weeks of my pregnancy. Again, I am so excited that I can be making these updates for you guys and just being able to continue on with this journey. I feel very thankful and blessed every single day. I'm still kind of in shock, but I think I'm starting to believe it more. This update is exciting because this is the week that we did see our baby again. This was the actual ultrasound where they measure the baby, and it's like a tech doing it, so it's a little bit more, you know, not so scary like last time, which I was very excited for, but I was very nervous just because, I don't know, like after you've had so many losses, and it's different. And I probably will say that this whole pregnancy, like I don't think the worrying will ever stop. I was definitely nervous for the ultrasound, but all went good, and I will talk about that. But that is not until the end of 7 weeks. So I'm gonna bring you guys back to the beginning of 7 weeks. So I have it written down on my phone. Everything that I remember and everything that like happened, I would just write down real quick. So I'm just gonna bring you guys through what I had written down. So the beginning of week 7, I still felt like crap. I think the nausea and just the like that sick feeling all the time lasted all of 7 and 8 weeks. So I was basically dead. My daughter started sleeping with us, and she doesn't sleep with us. Like, we don't co-sleep. We've never co-sleeped. We just don't do the whole co-sleeping thing. And just lately, in those few weeks that I was sick, I ended up having her just come in our bed, because at bedtime I didn't feel like laying with her in her bed. I didn't feel like reading a book, and I felt bad, but the best that I could do is just have her come in my room, and we cuddled and fell asleep together. So we're starting to get out of that habit now, thank God, because I need my bed back. But yeah, that was a habit that started, and I didn't feel good. Like those whole weeks, just bleh. I was still very tired in these weeks. I would nap for maybe an hour a day, and then I was in bed by I think like 8 o'clock almost every night. Even sometimes 7:30. It was just, I just felt like sleeping was the only way to really get away from my nausea. And at 8 o'clock when the nausea started hitting, I was like, nope, I'm just gonna go to bed. Like I'm not gonna stay up any longer and deal with this if I don't have to. So I ended up just going to bed to kind of escape my nausea, but I was also extremely tired. Now we can talk about seeing the baby at the ultrasound. So I went in and had my ultrasound done at 7 weeks and like 5 days. I think I was, no, 6 days, 7 weeks, 6 days. I was shy just 1 day of 8 weeks. So I had a feeling when we would go into the ultrasound, I had two feelings. Either one, there was no heartbeat, just because I constantly feel like that. And then two, we were gonna see a bigger baby than we saw in the last ultrasound, because we were almost 8 weeks. So I had this feeling that the baby was going to be bigger, and the baby was bigger, and there was a heartbeat. We actually got the heartbeat this time, so I will tell you guys that in a second. But the baby was bigger, and it wasn't quite as big as I thought as I was. I was almost 8 weeks, like I said, and the baby was measuring about 7 weeks and like 2 days. So it was measuring just a couple days behind, but it wasn't enough to move my due date. So my due date is still May 5th, and it's right at the beginning of May. I doubt that I'll go into labor in May. I had Brielle 2 weeks early, so I don't know if I'll go full 40 with this baby. Who knows? But right now I'm thinking I'm gonna have an April baby. But anyways, so the baby was just measuring a little bit smaller, but they weren't concerned. I always carry littler babies. Brielle was always measuring like a couple days behind. Sometimes she would even measure like a week behind. She was just always little. And then my last baby that I lost just measured a couple days behind too. So I just think that I carry little babies, and that's fine. They didn't see anything wrong with it. Everything looked great. So that is like super good news. And the heart rate was measured at 169 beats per minute. I know that the old wives' tale, like gender prediction, is that the higher the heartbeat is a girl and lower is boy. But I will say, in my defense, that Brielle's heart rate was always like 140s or like 140, 150. So that's considered a boy, and she was a girl. And then the last baby that I had that I carried for 9 weeks, her heart rate was, I think, 139. So it was low too, just like Brielle's. And this baby is 169. So I don't know. I've never had a baby with this high of a heart rate. So we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. Definitely, like, you can tell I'm swaying because I would like to have a son, but I, you know, would be happy with anything at this point. I just want a baby, and I just want the baby healthy, and I'm just blessed. Another symptom that has stayed with me since I found out I was pregnant was my sore boobs. They are intensely painful. Like, my nipples are very painful. I used to wear sport bras a lot because I just like the comfort of them, and I can't even wear sports bras at this point. They're just like too tight and like suffocating. So I'm just wearing like very basic bras with like no underwire, no push-up, like nothing, because my boobs, I feel like, are like 10 times the size that they used to be. So basic bras feel a lot better than like all the jazz, and they're just huge right now. Like, they're swollen and they hurt, and even if you look at them from across the room, they're hurting. Also, another thing I noticed this week was that I've had like no energy. I actually haven't had any energy since I found out I was pregnant. But it's like really bad lately. I am the type of person that will clean the house like once a day. Like, I will vacuum, I will just wipe things down, like the kitchen appliances or like the countertops or whatever. Like, I'm always cleaning. And I don't remember the last time I picked up a broom. I have a, what do you call it, those robotic vacuums, and that's literally all the cleaning that I do. It's getting better now that I'm further along, but definitely during those weeks, I don't think I touched a toilet brush or like a mop or anything. So I felt pretty bad, but I just didn't have any energy. My life was just like the couch and trying not to throw up. I really don't like this tea. So in these weeks, I decided I was done. Like, I wasn't gonna deal with this nausea anymore. I needed to find something to help me. So I went out and bought these Sea-Bands. They're supposed to help with like sickness and morning sickness and like nausea and all that. They like put on your pressure point on your arm. And then I also picked up B6. It's just like the vitamin B6. I hear people talking about it all the time. My doctor recommended it. So I went out and bought those. $40 later, it didn't work. The Sea-Bands didn't touch my nausea. They did not, B6 did not touch my nausea, like nothing touched my nausea. We actually ended up going away camping during these weeks, and one of my friends that we were camping with had some Zofran, and I've heard that that's okay to take when you're pregnant, and we also like looked it up online and it seemed okay. So I ended up taking it, and it did wonders on my nausea actually. Like, I was able to eat food and not feel like I was gonna throw up. So when I got home, I had called my doctor about prescribing me some medication, and they actually don't like you to take Zofran until at least 12 weeks. So that was good to know. At least I didn't continue. I ended up getting some medication. This is called promethazine. I actually don't take it anymore because I didn't help. I don't think it really helped me. I think it's just all in my head, honestly, because nothing touched this nausea. I think it was actually the weekend of 8 weeks when I was going into 9 weeks. It was a Friday, and I had kept telling Tyler I was really nauseous all day. I didn't feel good. And then Friday night came and I was like, I can't deal with this. I've got to go to bed. So I ended up going to bed at like 8 o'clock on a Friday night. And I just remember like not being able to fall asleep. My stomach was like really queasy. And then I like flew out of bed. And I just remember like running to the bathroom and throwing up like my whole supper. And I was puking for a good like 20 minutes, and it was rough. Like, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but you know when like you throw up and like nothing's coming out and you're dry heaving and like your stomach's just all tight and you're just like like it's just terrible. That's how I was all Friday night. So I finally like stop puking and get myself together, and when I throw up, I don't know about you guys, but I don't have any bladder control. Ever since I've had my daughter, I cannot hold my bladder for the life of me. So every time I throw up, I lose my bladder. So I lost my bladder all over the bathroom floor, and I like didn't even care. I was just so sick. I fell backwards onto like the bathroom floor, and I was just laying in my pee. Like I didn't even care. And I was yelling to Brielle. And I was like, Brielle, get daddy, get daddy. And she comes in and she's like, what's wrong, mama? And then she's like, mama, what's wrong? And I was like, what? Like, just go get him. I'm sick, you know? And she goes, mama, you have blood on your face. And I was like, what? I do. And I looked and I had a bloody nose. And I always have bloody noses when I'm pregnant. It's like one of the things that I always have. And I always end up scaring my children with my bloody noses. But I ended up having a bloody nose. And blood was all over my face, all over my hands. And I was laying in my urine. I had to throw up on the toilet and everything. And I scared my daughter. So my husband comes in and he cleans me up. And he puts me into the tub. And I ended up just taking a bath for like 3 hours. And finally went to bed. And I woke up the next day. I kind of felt crappy that whole day. And then on Sunday of 8 weeks, which I was almost 9 weeks, I would think I was like 8 weeks and 5 days, I woke up and felt wonderful. I like could eat breakfast. I wasn't nauseous. I was just starving. But overall I felt amazing. I couldn't believe that I wasn't sick. So we ended up going to a fair that's close to us, and we spent the day as a family, which was so much needed because I've been so sick and kind of motherless. Like, I just feel so bad I haven't really been that involved with Brielle. So it was a really nice day for all of us to be together. But that is all I have to update you guys on 7 and 8 weeks. It's been a long journey of nausea, but I think I'm finally starting to see the end of the clear road, that I'm gonna feel better. I am 9 weeks as I film this video, and I can say that I still feel pretty good. So I think the worst is over. Not sure though, I'm not gonna hold my breath. It's probably gonna jinx me, knock on wood, but I'm hoping that the worst is over. Now I am all caught up with you guys, so from here on out, my updates will be all in real time instead of catching up. So cheers to that. All right guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.